Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a really cool build off between myself and Cole over at Cudas Diecast Customs. Now for this build off, when Cole and I were talking about it, we wanted to do something to give back to other builders. So we thought it'd be a fun idea to partner up with other builders, get to know them a little bit, see what kind of cars they like, what kind of stuff they're into, and then build them a car, video it, and then when you're all done, then you send it off to them. So when Cole and I were talking about it, he did mention about a Oldsmobile that him and his dad have. So with this one, I did want to do something cool. I have a couple different style of techniques that I'm going to work with. So let's take a look at the casting here and check everything out on it. Now off camera, I did drill and tap the posts, so it's all set up for screws. And I'm going to be doing a different kind of paint job that I've never done before. And Cole also did mention that it did have a black hood and the vinyl top, so I've got a couple ideas for that. And we're going to be changing out these wheels, of course. So the wheels that are going to be donated are actually from the Impala, from one of the Fast and Furious cars, because I really think that that 5-spoke is going to look good on it. So let's go ahead, we'll take it apart and kind of take a look at everything, see what we got to work with here. Since I did just open this one up here, the glass is in really good shape, so I won't have to worry about anything to do with that. The interior, it is pretty basic, but we are going to swap out this steering wheel for a 3D printed one that I got from Chuck over at Flying Valiant, and we are also going to paint the interior a flat black. Now since the base is metal on here, we are going to have to cut these tabs out so we can get rid of these axles. Down on the bottom side, it does have some nice details. You can see here the bumpers on it. And we're also going to have to do some minor modifications so we can get the ride height to where I want to put this car at. Now, as far as the paint goes, it does actually have some really nice painting on it, but it does kind of have this odd casting line here, so we'll have to file that down also. So we'll get this scuffed up and off to the stripper and get that paint off of it. So with the car and the stripper, we're going to turn our focus to the base. So we will have to Dremel out these tabs here so we can get these wheels off. And we're going to be using this bit here. It's just a round spur end on it. And so we'll go ahead and we'll get those taken care of right now. Now when I lower vehicles and I'm getting rid of these tabs, I first just focus on getting the axles out, not worrying too much about getting all the tabs off. So I do just focus on one of the tabs here, as you can see, and then I'll come back through and I'll widen the area out later on so I can fit my tubing in here properly. Since we got the rear one out, we'll just go to the front one, do the same thing. Like I said, we'll just focus on getting one of the tabs off so we can come back through and widen it. Now that we got our car out of the paint stripper, we're just going to kind of take a look at it here. Like I said, we did remove that casting line on the roof there, and we're going to also remove that one there. And we'll just kind of go through and just double check, make sure everything else looks good on it. But for the most part, the casting is in pretty good shape. So now that we got the casting lines taken care of, we can figure out exactly how we want to do our paint job. Now, like I said before, we are going to be doing a different kind of paint job on here than I've done before. We're also going to mask off along these lines here for the vinyl top and try this new paint out. So I'm gonna go over it with this color shift from Testers. It is a gloss black. Once that's dried up, I'll come back over it with a transparent green. So we'll see how that turns out. So now that we have our black base coat down, we'll just kind of take a look at it, make sure that we're happy with the way it looks. Now, my main focus was the sides and the trunk on this one for the black base coat. Now, there are some paint blemishes on the roof and also on the hood, but those will be getting covered up in a matte black. So once that's dried a little bit more, we'll come back over it with our Testers here, that is the transparent green, and we'll see what kind of look that we can get. Now, I also did spray the base in a flat black, so once this is fully dry, we'll go back over it with the details, and I'll kind of show you some of the modifications that I did. So here we have everything all done. Now, the interior, like I said, was pretty basic, but it did help adding this really nice 3D printed steering wheel from Chuck over at Flying Valiant. So we detailed that, chromed out the shift knob on it, but I wanted to keep it really simple. Now, the base of it, I did chrome the rear bumper here, painted in the tail lights, and also chromed the front bumper on it. Now down below I did want to highlight a few of the details, so I just went over it with the Testers aluminum, and it really highlighted them very nice. Now these little tabs here, I did use some old axle pieces so I could get the right height, and for the rear it was some brass tubing and a old paint stick that I had just sitting around that I cut up. And it still does roll even though it sits pretty much right on the ground. Now I did trim the fake brake discs or whatever you want to call them, just so I could get that ride height right. I wanted this thing as low as I could get it. Since it was a brand new casting when I opened it, the windows on it are fine. All I did is just add a little detail to it. Now what you can't see is how the car turned out. I kind of wanted to do something a little bit special here for Cole since the car is going to him and make him wait until the very end. So before that, let's see what we started with. And we had this really nice premium casting. It has really good paint on it. The blue is actually a phenomenal color, but I wanted to make it something a little different and a little bit more special for Cole. Now we also did change out the wheel riders, slam this thing down, did a few new techniques on here, and so we'll let it spin around a little bit more and then we'll wait for the reveal. So here's how our car turned out, and I could not be happier with the way it looks. Everything from the paint to the details to the stance, everything just turned out exactly perfect on it. Now, Cole, I can't wait for you to get this into your collection. I hope you like it. And guys, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, consider subscribing if you're not already, and hit that little bell for all future notifications. I do have some beauty shots coming up, but guys, I'll catch you in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching.